Sup fam? Just kidding. Hey, what's up? This is MasoKiss, and I am here with my first video of 2018. Yay! I decided towards the end of last year that I was going to do a super big number this year. Last year was obviously the Demon Queen, and I did the behind the scenes making of that, so I figured since this is probably going to be my biggest number to date as far as like costume and production goes, I would do the same for this. So welcome to the Making of the Empress, Part 1, The Plan. Also, just a side note, for the second part of this making of, the whole process, I'm going to break it down into smaller videos because honestly, it's a bitch to edit, and just having all of that footage, like months and months of footage, just sitting, waiting. And that way doing it in parts will keep anyone that actually watches this channel and is interested in this, like, you can be more up to date with things. So, anyway, let's get into what this is. Oh, jeez. I'm surrounded by burlesque shit. So, The Empress is an album and a character created by Social Repose. Let's see. I'm a fan. I'm a huge YouTube junkie. Everyone knows this. And I found Social Repose through his a cappella covers, specifically the one of Linkin Park's Numb, which hit me right in the fucking feels. And then I saw that he did original music and watched his Filthy Pride music video, and yeah, really was digging it. So when I saw that he was coming out with an EP and all the things leading up to it, like I saw the Empress album art and was like, that looks really cool. And then once we got to see the Empress in the music videos, I immediately thought, like, I have to do this. I have to make this into a burlesque number. So I'm gonna, like, over here, maybe insert some pictures. Maybe here will be, like, the album art. And then the first sighting of the Empress. Real cool. So I just decided that this was going to be a thing that I do. Once again, I realized this is super specific in inspiration. I don't know how many people in the burlesque world know of Social Repose. It seems like his fan base is younger. I'm into it. I'm into the visuals and just the artistic side, especially the music videos. It drew me in, and I felt like I needed to do this. It's going to be super weird, it's going to be super challenging, and super over the top. So there you go. That's it. Now, if you have no idea who Social Repose is, if you want a little bit more context, I will link down below the anthology of his music videos for Empress. That might be able to give you some idea, but the goal of this is for people to be interested and enjoy this piece without any knowledge of the Empress character and Social Repose. Also, kind of like what happened with the Monster and Demon Queen, then maybe getting more people interested in the source through seeing my number, kind of thing, where that's the road that I'm going down these days with my burlesque numbers. So hopefully that happens. Now, in the Making of the Demon Queen, I talked about like the music and the inspiration in the process video. I feel it's better to talk about it here because, you know, just the researching and the listening to the music over and over and over again, that's going to happen with every single number that I do. So, of course, you can watch his videos, kind of see what it's all about. But the Empress basically represents corruption. In the way that it is envisioned by Social Repose, the Empress doesn't have a face. I'm going to be bringing a face to it eventually, but just representing corruption, kind of like turning people to the dark side kind of thing. Because, you know, we kind of all have those influences in our lives, so it's kind of take it as you can apply it to your own life kind of thing, which is what I like about it. So before the album came out, I went to a show in New Jersey on the US first leg of the Empress tour, and you know, I picked up the EP there and was listening to it on the way home, because I was like, okay, like as soon as I got out of the show and in the car and found my way out of New Jersey, I was just blasting this EP in the car and just trying to figure out, okay, what am I gonna do with this number? Like, it was like that. Like, the show was amazing, and I met Richie. There we are. Those feathers are insane. But the first song on the album is Empress, and obviously I have to use that. I could have easily just done that song and have that be the number and just be like super dark, intimidating, like I am corruption and I'm here to ruin you kind of thing. But I kind of wanted to do a little bit more than that because, you know, I wanted to challenge myself a little bit, because I know that I can do just a very like hard-hitting, fierce number that's super creepy, but I wanted to bring another aspect into it, and for that reason I chose to have this be a mix of two songs, one starting with the first song, Empress, and then it ends with a song, it's the last song, called Behave. And he actually played it for us at the show, and as soon as I heard it, I was like, this is fire, this is super sexy, I should definitely use this.
Live or die, either is fine. You're dying slow, I hope you know. It's hard to say goodbye, I feel real in my mind. Till the day I saw you die, I don't care if you're still alive.
The second half of the number is going to be more of like a seduction kind of thing. I'm trying to show how easy it is to be corrupted by whatever it may be. Because in the beginning, it's going to be super creepy. I don't have a face. I've got all these fucking spikes all over me, and it just like visually probably something you don't want to fuck with. But by the end of the number, I'm hoping that I'll be like, you know, reeling people in, and you kind of forget that I clearly am something that you don't want to be around. But by the end, it's like, ha, gotcha. Ready to destroy your soul. What's up? So that's kind of where I'm going with it. But also, it's up for the audience's interpretation. But I wanted to give a little bit more to the character and my performance. So that's why I decided to do a mix, and that's the direction that I'm heading. Also, wanted to add more, like you need to add more, to the Empress costume. So it's going to be a combination of what the Empress looks like and what Richie wears for his stage set, Social Repose, the whole outfit that he has. So there'll be influences from that in the Empress costume. Now let's get down to the plan of this costume and parts of the stage production that really just like starting to think about it makes my brain hurt, and also my bank account. But here's the plan. So we're gonna kind of go head to toe. Obviously, the first thing I need to talk about is the headdress situation. It's huge. It's ridiculous. And I'm gonna build it with hot glue, skewers, wires, and dreams. But a big thing is, obviously, I have red hair. The Empress has black hair. I don't feel comfortable with big headpieces on wigs. It makes me real nervous. So my plan is to, and this is the first thing that I need in order to construct everything that's going to be on top of my head. I'm going to get one of those like half wigs and secure that, and then on a headband in front of that will be the big spiky halo kind of thing that happens. Then there's that like leathery thing that's part of like the crown. Once I figure out where the spiky part is going to fit on my head and see how much real estate I'm working with in like this area, I'm going to reach out to a company that I plan to get other pieces from and see if maybe they could create that for me. And then probably put that on some sort of like a sport headband and have that all just pinned to my head and hope that it stays. The other part of the headpiece is going to be what's in front of my face for the first half of the number. The Empress, obviously, it's just like hair. But I want to do something a little more glamorous, so I'll probably be using like that hologram sequin fringe that I just love so much. I'm not sure how it's going to attach to the headdress because it is going to come off, but I'll figure it out. Or maybe I'll use something different. But the front of my face will be covered for the first half of the number because that's clearly just something I like to do and make things difficult for myself. Kind of like how the knee pads were in Demon Queen. I feel like since I'm showing my face, if I don't have sclera, the blackout contacts, if I don't have them, then that's just like, I would feel like I didn't do it justice. Because that is something that Richie wears in his Social Repose character getup. My problem here is that my eyesight is real bad, and while I do numbers that limit my line of sight, especially for how complicated this outfit's going to be, I would like to be able to see just a little bit. Just a little bit. So I am going to have to custom order prescription handmade sclera lenses for my eyeballs. They're a little pricey. I also don't trust just regular special effects contacts that don't have a prescription that you can just buy online anywhere. I just don't trust them. So there's that. The makeup will be, my face will be pretty light, as it already is, with black and purple, and I probably will be painting my neck black. So there's that on the makeup and everything. Moving on to the arms and everything that goes with that. I did find the actual, gauntlets that are worn by the Empress. Unfortunately, they're not available in the US anymore, and I kind of wanted something more obnoxious. So I did find these, wet look gauntlet gloves that have feathers that'll be, coming out of here. And there's an option, you can get it in black, or you can have black and colored feathers. One of the options is purple, so going for it. Also in the glove department, I will be wearing 2 pairs of gloves, which I'm sure is going to be super difficult. We shall see. The first pair that I have to get is actually something that is part of the Social Repose stage effects. He had these gloves, and when I saw them on stage, I was just like, okay, that's real cool. I feel like I need those. So in the palms, there are blue LEDs, and then on the knuckles are purple lasers. Who doesn't want to have purple lasers coming from their knuckles? I'm all about that. So those will be like my final reveal gloves, and that'll be, you know, some of this number is costume reveals and some of it is just like effects reveals. So that's one of the last things that you'll see will be the purple lasers. Then on top of those gloves, I mentioned a company that I was going to reach out to maybe see if they could do the custom Empress headpiece. That is actually a company on Etsy that I believe made the gauntlet, like claw, glovey things that both Richie wears on stage and also was part of the Empress costume. It seems like you have a little more mobility than one would think with these claws, and I am really, really hoping for that because they're going to be on for a majority of the number. Also from that same company, they make like shoulder armor kind of things. And they have a really cool one that, I mean, it has this thing in front, which they say that they can do custom without that. But they have one style that already has like some rhinestones on it, and you can choose your rhinestone color. It's not super obnoxious, so I could put something on top of it, which is the plan. So I will have that leather as well. That will stay on the entire time. Gloves are staying on the entire time, or should I say the feather gauntlets staying on the whole time, and the underlayer glove with lights, those stay on the whole time. So I like the idea of, you know, pieces, especially if I'm not taking them off, will be cohesive. There's those huge shoulder pad things that have the spikes on them, and I didn't even think of it until, of course, I'm going to have to mention Jacqueline Glenn in this video. She wore the costume for one of the videos and noted how difficult it was to like just turn your head, because you have the spikes from the shoulders and then the spikes from the headpiece that would like hit each other and get like intertwined and stuff. So it then became apparent to me that I'm going to have to take whatever these shoulder things are off. I'm not sure how I'm going to attach them. I'm not sure how I'm going to make them, but I'm thinking maybe magnets. I've never used magnets before, but I will be making or commissioning those crazy shoulder things, and those will be coming off. Another thing with the Empress is that she's all black, head to toe, completely covered. So in my mind, like, the more covered that I am, the better kind of thing. I did find on Etsy, gotta love Etsy, but I found a designer that made this really cool body harness thing that I plan on getting as the like super duper underneath stuff that will be rhinestoned. I might add some beaded fringe. I don't know. We shall see. Then there's the gown. And I looked high and fucking low to try to find the exact pieces that made up this gown. As you can see, it was worn in some videos. I had to like stalk the goth prom video and behind the scenes videos to try to see like where the sequin appliques were, what they looked like, try to find something that looks just like it, and no. Either it's not available anymore, or those pieces were customized. Because I tried my damnedest to find the exact ones, and I couldn't. So, since I couldn't find the exact ones, I decided to kind of change it up a little bit. Instead of an overbust corset, I will have a bra and underbust corset that, through decorating, will kind of look like they go together. Of course, sequin appliques to replicate the look of the original. Also, definitely some sort of beaded fringe is going to be happening, just beading in general on the corset. Also, yeah, it's going to be a zip-up corset because I'm going to have claws. So, I already got that. And then the skirt, there's, you know, some beading that's on it, and I couldn't find anything that looked like it, so I just got a basic skirt that kind of looks like the one that's part of the Empress costume. And what I'm thinking is I can add some layers to it if need be. And also I want to make it into two pieces. So there's a front and a back piece. So I can, take off the front part, still have the back so you can't see my butt yet. And then, then take the back piece off. So, so that's the gown. That's probably like the simplest part of the costume, aside from me being OCD and trying to find like the exact appliques that were used and draping it just like the one in the costume. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. I'm a little nervous about cutting up a skirt and then adding to it and making it two pieces, but I got it on sale, so if I fuck it up, whatever. I found these really cool pleaser boots that I think really work with the whole costume, that are like leather looking, and my new thing now is rhinestoning the platforms of pleaser boots, so I'll be doing that. The entire costume, of course, well, I'll be using like Jet and the Jet family rhinestones. I am going to be incorporating purple into the entire costume through rhinestones. I think I'm going to have to get some Swarovskis, because I've seen some real pretty purple ones that I'm going to need. I did forget, in the headdress, I'm thinking about adding some purple like fairy lights and like weaving them in to kind of tie all together, the with the lasers and that. I love the fact that on tour, like when you go see a Social Repose show, it's a fucking show. There's all the lights and all of the production value, like it's there. So my thing this year is I really want to bring like production value to the new numbers that I'm working on. And the Empress has, the black smoke that's coming off of her. There's no way to do that in real life without choking out an entire room of people with black smoke. So another thing that she does is she fucking throws fireballs and just lights shit up. So I don't really mess with fire. The most that I will mess with fire on stage is having candles for wax numbers. But especially in that costume, I don't even want to think about real fire. I don't. However, there are these lovely, lovely fog jets that I've seen on stages when like rock bands play. I know one gig that I did with my band, they had them. I just recently saw Fozzy, and there was one on either side of the stage, so I was like, okay, these have to be legit. It's a fog machine, but instead of like your normal, like the fog that spreads out, it's a vertical jet. And then surrounding it are LED lights that you can program to be whatever color you want. One of them, like if you do it a certain way, it looks like fire. Just like jets of fire. Obviously, I need two of these machines because I really want to be able to have that fire effect on stage. Also, it helps with the lasers because normally you don't see, I think it's even blue as well, like blue and purple lasers. They're much harder to pick up than, say, red and green. And something that helps really show the lasers is having, like, smoke. It's from, a smoke fog machine kind of thing. In a smoky environment, it'll show better. So, it kind of helps with that, too. Now, unlike Demon Queen last year, where, like, I kind of had an idea in the beginning of the year, and then really started getting down to it a couple months before I knew it would premiere at the Summer Glam show, this really, at this point, has no deadline, which is great because it's going to be a lot financially and just time-wise. I have an idea of where it might premiere, which would be sometime in the summer, which would give me, at least, I feel like I could do it. I don't know if my bank account can, but I feel like maybe that'll happen. which if it does, I'll update in the description box, and that'll probably be something you'll see in the process. But right now, I'm just kind of figuring out how I'm going to pay for all of it. So hopefully you guys are interested in this, want to come along with me for the journey of making this insane number come to life. So yeah, that's going to be it for the plan, and stick around and see if it actually happens the way that my brain is thinking that it will. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.